Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing a full set, like from beginning to end. I haven't done a video like this in a while and I definitely wanted to do it, so let me go ahead and let you guys know what I'm doing so I don't get too ahead in the video. The first thing you want to do is push back the cuticles. I'm using a drizzle cuticle pusher. Once you are done with that, you go in with a fine sanding band, a mandrel bit, and your drill. You're going to go all over the nail. You want to remove all the shine from the natural nail, because any shine that is left behind will cause potential lifting, and you definitely don't want that. So you want to take your time with this, and definitely put your drill at the slowest speed. On the 𝘊𝘰𝘠 drill, it is 3000 RPMs, so that is the slowest setting and the setting that I'm going to use it on, because you don't want to cause any ridges, or if you are too hard on this part, you might not see it this time, but maybe the next time or two more times that your client gets acrylics and maybe you remove them, if you look at the natural nail from the side, if you did it too fast or too hard, there is going to be like a little ridge, or it might be like dents and stuff like that. You definitely don't want that. You want to take care of your client's natural nails as much as possible. So now I'm going in with a dust brush. I'm using the 𝘊𝘰𝘠 one. All discount codes and everything is linked down below as always. And for today I am going to be using the Mia Secret nail prep, and my knot polish is XXX Bond. And not just today, you guys, this is literally what I use on myself when I was taking clients, when I did do nails. The tips I'm going to be using are the Crafts by 9 extra long square no C-curve tips, which are literally my favorite at the moment. I'm going to be gluing those down onto the nail. I wanted to do this because, like I said, I hadn't done this for a while. I get a lot of questions on how, to prep the natural nail and things like that. Also, you guys, I wanted to mention that if you guys don't follow me on TikTok, make sure to do so. I just created like a post. It is the first pinned video on my profile, and it says like attention nail techs beginner. Like, if you guys have any questions, comment down below, and I want to make an in-depth video explaining your questions and things like that, because I get so many DMs throughout the day on questions. A lot of them are very, very similar to other ones, so I know a lot of you guys have the same questions. Whether you're an advanced nail tech or beginner nail tech, it doesn't matter. Any questions you may have and any questions that I can answer myself, I would love to show it to you guys. So I am going to be responding with TikTok videos and in-depth like explanation of your questions and stuff like that. I've already gotten about like 40-50 comments in like a day, so I'm gonna keep reminding you guys so you guys can go and comment any questions you may have. TikTok is definitely something very helpful when it comes to nails. A lot of people post nail tips and things like that, and that's definitely something that I'm gonna start doing, because I usually just repost videos that I post on my Instagram, but I want to make videos specifically for TikTok, for my TikTok followers, and so that is gonna be there. Okay, next up, I'm going to be cutting the nails or trimming the nails to my desired length. The way that I like to size it or measure it is placing the actual nail tip cutter underneath. It hits against the nail bed, and then that's the way I measure it. It's super easy, super fast. I don't have to grab like a measure and then drop that and then pick up the nail tip cutter. It just takes up a little bit more time, so I definitely try to do things as efficient as I can, like as to speed down my time, because you definitely want to do a nail set faster than what you were doing a couple months ago, so you can finish faster. I'm not saying that you have to finish a full set in like an hour, because these nails take time. When I started first doing nails, I think I was taking like 3 hours or so, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I would say that you let your clients know beforehand that, I do take around this time. Don't give them an exact time, because they also start to be like, if they look at the clock and it's been 3 hours because you said 3 hours, they're going to start like pressuring you. They're going to start making you feel like you're rushed. So don't do that. Maybe say like, oh, I take within this time frame. Or if they send you what they want, then you'll have a better idea as to how long you are gonna take. And you let them know beforehand, and they know. So in this part right here, I'm still using the fine sanding band, which these pink fine sanding bands and the medium ones that I'm going to be using later on, they are both in my Amazon storefront. The link is down below. I absolutely love them. And so what I like to do is I like to blend where the tip meets the natural nail, just so it doesn't have a huge like bump. And I just like to like do that. I like to sand it down, and it makes like the acrylic blend easier. You could, if you want, and I sometimes do, go all the way to the bottom of the nail tip with the fine sanding band, but it just does take a little bit more time. I do feel like, you know, the acrylic can stick to that part a lot better because it is filed, but it's completely up to you. This is a step you can definitely skip, but that's something that I just like to do. So now these tips I absolutely love because I don't have to be filing forever and ever. The first tips that I used to use when I first started doing nails, I would like have to cut them and then shape them, and it would just take forever. So these are super easy to use. I only have to file the sides because it does stick out a little bit, since this is not a natural like hand, they're not real nails. So I just have to file that side, and if you want to make it a little bit more crisp, you totally can. So now I'm gonna go in with the Mia Secret dehydrator. I apply one all over the natural nail, just one like one I don't know how to call it, like one brush stroke around it. And then for the not polished triple X bond, which is the nail primer, I go in 2 times. The acrylics that I'm going to be using are from Not Polish. This one is called Blissful Purple, and then white, which I'm going to be doing the 3D flowers with. And then this one is called Mystic White. I am going to be using all of these acrylics, except for the white, of course. Both of the acrylics have like glitters in them, and I can't wait to use them. The acrylic brush is from Not Polish as well. It is in the size number 12. And the monomer that I always use is the Chiara Sky EMA monomer. And I recently got it in a gallon, so it's going to be lasting me a very long time because I still have a lot of the other ones. Okay, so I wanted to keep my application in real time as well, so you guys can see exactly where I place the beads. That seems to be a common question that I get in my DMs. Where do you place the first bead? How big do you do it? And things like that. So I am going to be making a TikTok video, like I said in the beginning of this video, where I'm going to be explaining it more in depth for you guys. So I don't like really know how I do it. Like, I do waste a little bit of product, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I do see some people that literally waste no product, and maybe one day I'll get there, but I do waste a little bit of product because I would rather waste a little bit than be short of it, and then it's kind of like bumpy, and then I don't end up not liking it. So that's like my personal thing that I do usually, and I like to make bigger beads. I would much rather have the nail be thick than it be too thin, because as a beginner I used to make that mistake a lot. I used to grab really small beads. I used to do like a 10 bead method, and I would take a long time, but not only that, my nails would still be pretty thin at the end, and I didn't like that because once I would go in with my drill and file, it was just like it would file off the things that I was working on, so that defeats the whole purpose. And so I like to make my nails thicker, and I just like how it looks better, to be honest. So I'm doing the 3 bead method. I believe that I did stick to that throughout the whole thing. And now I'm doing the cuticle bead. Now when you're doing a cuticle bead, when you're using the practice hand, it can get a little messy. It's not going to be like that when you have a client, because you can really get into it with the nail brush and clean around the cuticle areas when you get it around there. But on the silicone practice hand, it can get stuck and it can look messy if you're not super clean with it. But don't worry, you guys, because when you're taking a client, it's definitely 100% different. I used to think the same thing. Like, I used to think that I used to practice so much on my nail, like my Amazon nail, that I would be like, oh, like, this is how it's gonna be when I get a client. It's gonna be bad, like, it's gonna be messy, and, you know, things like that. But it's so much easier when you actually take on a client. Okay, so it looks like I did 4 beads, and I placed one at the top and just got a big bead to drag it all the way down. Look at how pretty that color is, you guys. There are so many colors that I was not even aware of that nail polish had that are just gorgeous. To find these colors out, like the way I find these colors out is, you know, following them on their Instagram, of course, but they repost so many, like they repost everybody's posts basically. If you tag them in your story, they will repost you. And so when I go through their story on Instagram, I'm able to see all these colors of people that used it on a set, and I'm like, ooh, what color is that? And then that's how I find these colors, because obviously online you can only see the containers and a little bit of a swatch, but seeing them like on an actual nail is so much different. So I really love that, you know, I found these, because these two colors I found that way, because other than that I would have never probably ordered them. But they are absolutely stunning and I am so obsessed with them. Now I am done with the application and this is what it looks like. And now I'm going in with the Not Polish 3D round brush. It actually is double-sided, so on one side it has that 3D brush and the other side is round. I'm obviously only going to be using the 3D side for this set because I'm going to be doing the 3D flowers, which I am super excited about because I have only done 3D flowers like, I don't know, a few times. Like it hasn't been a lot of times. I have tried many times. Sometimes I like go crazy and I fail and then I just stop and I don't complete a set. But on a client, I have only done it one time. So that just tells you how much experience I have with 3D flowers, which is very little. I definitely want to get into them more though because they are so pretty. There's so many different ways of doing them. I have seen so many different like beautiful flowers that people do on Instagram, and you know, hopefully after a while I can get there. But yeah, so I'm going to be using the Not Polish's white acrylic, and I really love their white acrylic. It is very hard to find a good white acrylic, and I definitely feel like this is one of my favorites. If you guys don't know, on my TikTok, my first pinned video, I'm asking you guys to comment below what questions you guys may have as a nail tech. I do want to make in-depth videos or in-depth replies to those comments because on TikTok, I see that a lot of comments are the same as ones that I get in my DMs. And although I do reply to my DMs when you guys have questions about products or about how to do things, or, you know, you guys send me your photos of you know, your sets, and then you ask me just things about them. Those same questions on my TikTok are the same as in my DMs. And so, you know, I'm like, I might as well just make a really in-depth video and just post it on my social media for you guys to see it. And hopefully, you know, it helps other people because as you guys may know, like if you have a question, I'm sure somebody else is going to have that same question too. So instead of just replying one by one in my DMs, I'm going to be doing that TikTok, you know, replying for a while. I've already gotten, I think, about like 60 comments or so it is going to take me a bit to reply to all of them. But I am going to try my best to get as in-depth as I can and as helpful as I can with the knowledge that I know. I mean, not know everything, but, you know, with anything that I do know, I'd love to help other people that have the same questions. So make sure to head on over to my TikTok and comment if you guys have any questions so I can reply with a video reply as well. Okay, so as you see, I'm only on the 4th petal and they're not the same size. Sometimes I get bigger beads, sometimes I get smaller beads. So it is, I feel like, definitely important for you guys to get like one of those practice sheets. I used to get them in cosmetology school, but we only practice on the actual structure of the nail, or like the actual nail. We didn't practice that much on bead. So practice sheets, you can find them on Google, and then you can just get one of those like binder divider things, put them in there, and it's very easy for the acrylic to pop off. So if you guys have any questions on that, because I'm not going to explain it too much in this video, just DM me or on that TikTok, like ask me for the practice sheet. It's very easy to do, and you know, a lot of teachers use that. Obviously in cosmetology school they taught us that too, and it just helps you with getting different size beads and practicing your, like, being consistent with your beads. Because as you see right here, I'm getting smaller beads, I'm getting bigger beads, I'm getting medium beads. So it will definitely come in handy when you have a practice sheet where you can practice your actual bead sizes. When you know that you want a small bead, you already know how to do it. When you want a big bead, you already know what to do. And it's the same thing with acrylic as well. But it is definitely more noticeable when you're doing 3D flowers, because when you're doing a nail, it doesn't matter if you're doing 20 beads or 3 beads. Like, the end result is probably going to be the same. But when you're doing 3D flowers, it's going to stay like that. You know, you're not going to file down. You're not going to do any of that. So, you know, you definitely want to do it right. So now I'm all done. And I'm using Not Polish's Gloss It, which is their top coat. Super, super shiny. I love the consistency, and it's not too thin, not too thick. I love it. And yeah, you guys, I did decide to put a top coat on that ring finger as well. I usually leave it matte or the way it is because, you know, the 3D flowers are everywhere, petals. But I definitely wanted to see that acrylic with top coat because that glitter was just so beautiful. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.